Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and oh so scary and great episode we got in the form of the second episode of the first season of It. Welcome to Derry. It dropped yesterday as a bonus Halloween treat on HBO Max. Thank you, Warner Brothers and HBO Max, for such a wonderful Halloween treat. I was busy last night enjoying myself on Halloween night, as it's one of the best times of the year with friends. So I didn't have a chance to watch it yesterday, but I just got done watching it now. Thoroughly, very much enjoyed it and can't wait to talk about it with you guys. Now, before I launch into my review and whatnot, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on It, Welcome to Derry, either with the series premiere, the first episode from a few days ago, a week ago, or this episode, episode 2, I'm going to be talking about both episodes, mostly episode 2, but if you're not caught up, don't keep watching and listening to this video, as I will be discussing massive spoilers, so be prepared for that if you're not caught up. And if you're not caught up, go back, watch the episode, come back, and then give this video a listen. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. Oh man, this show is really, really doing it for me. As someone who's a huge fan of the two most recent It films, I am so happy we are getting a prequel backstory show like we are in the form of It, Welcome to Derry. And it's a chance to expand on the lore and mythology of Pennywise and to get to know the characters who came before the Losers Club and how they dealt with Pennywise and how that fight or journey goes for them. So, and we get to meet some interesting characters along the way. So, this episode was great. Obviously picked up after the horrendous aftermath of the ending of episode 1 with the 3 kids getting munched on. Obviously, their bodies were not recovered because Pennywise ate them, but there was a hell of a lot of blood left in the theater, and of course, nobody makes a better scapegoat than a black theater projectionist or owner. Well, see, the projectionist or the theater owner, one of those two, but of course they're trying to pin it on him, but they can't because of lack of evidence. He's got a good alibi. That is until Chief Bowers, who's probably the grandfather of Henry Bowers, and this is his dad's dad, most likely, or at least a relative in the chain of Bowers, manipulated Lily into saying that she wasn't sure that he wasn't there, that Ronnie's father wasn't there at the movie theater. And of course, that was just enough evidence in those days to arrest him, even though there's no actual evidence against him and he had a solid alibi. I mean, it's 1962 in a fairly predominantly white state like Maine, and if you're black and if you're suspected of a crime, you're pretty much automatically guilty in those days, unfortunately. Well, of course, it feels like that really hasn't changed much, but anyway, so it was devastating to see this horrible conflict erupt between these two girls, where one girl, if she says nothing, then she goes back to the mental institution where I'm sure she was subjected to all sorts of terrors before meeting Pennywise. And if she does say something, then she implicates the other girl's father, and then that girl's life is ruined, especially after having such a horrific and awesome, gnarly, gross encounter with Pennywise. You know, we may not have seen Skarsgård in the clown outfit yet, but boy, are they making up for it with the other horrendous monstrosities that Pennywise is appearing, that he is appearing as to these other kids. You know, the mutant monster baby in the first episode, and then this episode, the dead mother of Ronnie, and then the severed head in the pickle jar to Lily. I mean, these are some truly nasty, horrific, gnarly, and incredibly awesome looking creations that the show has come up with. Since we can't always get Pennywise as a clown, we can definitely see him as other iterations and monsters and versions of himself. So I am, for one, grateful for that. Even though we may not see Skarsgård in the clown outfit, we're still seeing a lot of really cool creature creations come out of this show, and I love it. I also love how they revealed a bit more. They showed how smart Hanlon is with figuring out that that racist prick wasn't the one who attacked him. And he was willing to risk his life to prove his point, or to prove his theory that this stupid asshole couldn't put the gun together in a timely manner like the man who actually did assault him. And of course he was right. The guy might have been a racist prick, but he was not the one who attacked Hanlon, and something else was going on. As it turns out, it was a test revealed by the general to test his grit, his character, and his bravery above all. And it seems like they need a brave man if they're going to confront or find this weapon of fear they want to use against the Cubans and the Soviets in the Cold War. Of course, none of these poor bastards have any idea that what they're looking for is Pennywise, but we as the audience know, but they don't know that. And it was also cool to spend a bit more time with Dick Halloran, who appears later as an old man in the movie and the novel The Shining. And it seems like they're using his shine to try to locate this weapon of fear, or Pennywise in this case. And he seems to be granted special privileges that none of the other black Air Force officers are really granted. But the show did a good job capturing how, despite his privileges being Dick Halloran and having the shine gift, this episode reminded us how much racism was very much alive and around in the 1960s, as we saw those black guys were enjoying themselves in the bar, but before the bartender could even tell them to leave or get out, they immediately got the message, or Dick did, and he told his buddies, hey, we gotta go, it's time to go. And of course, there was also implied racism where the city councilman was pressuring the police chief, hey, why don't you just pin it on the black theater owner and call it case closed or whatever. And the chief was reluctant at first to pin the blame on the theater owner, which is interesting because either he's racist or he's not as racist as his descendants later are in the It movies. Because he even expresses sentiments like, this is America, he has a strong alibi, I can't just arrest him because we think it's him. So either he is racist and he's got a code, which is weird, or he isn't racist, but he does have some code he's trying to live by, but he's also under public pressure and scrutiny to solve these horrific murders of these children, and this guy just makes a convenient scapegoat. And ultimately, unfortunately, that's what seems to end up happening. Now, will Ronnie's father remain in police custody for long? I don't know. But this was still a hell of an episode that was well balanced between excellent storytelling, dramatic beats with interesting characters, balanced out with some really awesome, scary, and above all, horrifically creative monster nightmarish scenarios and encounters involving Pennywise in different forms of himself. So well done to the cast and crew of It, Welcome to Derry. This was another solid, wonderful episode, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the season looks like. And it feels like it's just going to keep picking up and getting better and better from here. So I am super excited about that. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a nice recovery day after a fun holiday like Halloween. And hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend as well. Thank you so much for watching. It, Welcome to Derry, drops new episodes every Sunday on HBO Max. Not this Sunday, however, since we just got this episode yesterday. The next episode, I believe, drops November 9th. So have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, what's your favorite scary movie?